BookTube family? I am so excited to be here with you guys today. We are going to talk about obviously book writing, which is my MO, my favorite, right? Um, I get this question a lot about how much to price your book, and I really want to make sure to hone in on that so that we can help to make sense of how you should price your book and how to make money off of your book. So, first things first, excuse the gifts behind me. Christmas is coming up, and I cannot let the girls have access to the presents. So I had to make sure to hide them. So you'll have to excuse that. Anyways, on to understanding how to price your book. There's a lot that goes into pricing your book, okay? Because I have heard of books that are costing $3, and then there's books that can cost upwards of $100. And so books can cost a lot of money based on what value you think the books will provide. And so it's really important for you to get a good understanding of your ideal market, what you're bringing to the table, and what you're offering. I had a coach once tell me that he bought a book for $97 and it had 13 pages in it. And I was so shocked to hear that because I would never buy a book with only 13 pages, but he swore by this book and said that there was so much value in such a little amount of pages that it was worth the money. Me on the flip side, I bought a book for $26. I think it had 20 pages in it, had no value, and I heard that it had value and I bought it, and I was pissed for investing in it. And so you don't ever want to do that. You want to make sure that the value matches with what it is that you're going to offer. So the first thing you want to do is you want to identify your target market and really understand what it is that they can afford. So if you are working with busy single moms who are struggling with paying off debt, you're probably not going to want to charge $40 for a book because they're going to think, well, $40 I can buy a tank of gas, and I'm saying that from a busy mom standpoint because that's where I've been and that's my thought process, right? Years later, after I have invested in myself and I understand the power of investing, I have now changed my thoughts around it, but not everyone thinks that way, and that's okay. So you really want to understand your market and see what they're willing to invest. One of the things that I learned in working with entrepreneurs is that they see a lot of value in investing in themselves. And so prices aren't necessarily turn-offs for them. It's not like they're going to say, okay, well, I invested in myself, but I only want to invest this little bit amount. They're really about value. And so you want to make sure that you are speaking to your market and understanding your market enough to know what they can afford when they're buying your book. The second thing you want to do is you want to understand how much value you are bringing to the table with the book. If you're giving a life-changing secret, then you probably want to charge a lot for it, right? If you're teaching somebody the trick to make $1,000,000, you're going to probably want to charge a lot for the book, right? If you're teaching somebody a trick to get their business off the ground, they've never had a business before, how to bring an extra stream of income, maybe you want to charge a little bit more, okay? The third thing you want to do is you want to understand your profit that you would like to make. So when you publish a book and you self-publish, it's a little different with traditional publishing and self-publishing. But when you self-publish, you get a certain percentage of your book. So for example, one of my books is $12.95. That's my quick tips for busy women. And Amazon, which is what I use CreateSpace, and Amazon takes a distribution charge and like a printing on demand charge. And so after they take all of their cut, I get about $5 per book. So if I sell 10 books, I make $50. It seems a little misleading, like it seems like I should have made $60 because they're $12 per book. But the truth is there are some costs that are associated with that. And so you really want to understand where you think your profit margin is. And I knew right around $5 to $7 is a safe margin to ask for as an author. And so that's when I priced my book according to what my profit margin stated. The final thing that you would need to do in order to price your book is you want to compare your book to other books in your market. So if there are other books talking about the exact same things and they are charging $12, you do not want to come in charging $29.95 because it will be that much harder for someone who's ready to invest in your book to say, well, why would I want to buy this book and all the other books are ranked at or marked at $12.95? And so you want to be very strategic about that. That's why you really want to understand what your ideal reader is looking for, because trust and believe, as they're looking for your book, they're looking for other books on that same topic. I recently did a 21-day financial fast. And when I did this, I started to look for financial books. I compared the price. I compared what they looked like. I compared what the book was saying that it would offer in the synopsis, and this really helped me to narrow down the book that I wanted to get. Obviously, reviews play a huge role in that as well, which is something that I was looking at. And so, this is why it's important that you are speaking to your ideal person in the synopsis. You're making sure your price is definitely competitive, and you're making sure that book stands out as you're doing that. If you haven't already gotten my Make Your Book Stand Out training, it's a big deal, huge deal. It's some great strategies to help your book stand out in an already saturated market, because obviously you're going to have competition, but you want to make sure that your book stands out amongst the competition. So, as you're pricing those books, I want you to go through those 4 strategies yet again, and I want you to really break those down. Spend some time thinking about that. Don't just throw a price on your book because you think that that's the price that works. Be very strategic about it, and it will definitely pay off in the long run. So, for those of you who have not got my training that I shared with you, I'm going to definitely put it below so that you can check it out. For those of you who have, make sure you watch it and apply it, and good job to you because you're already taking steps in the right direction. But I am really looking forward to the feedback that you guys will give me, the questions that you may have surrounding pricing your book. And I'm just excited for your growth and what you're learning. It's super awesome. So thanks for listening to me today, and I hope everyone has a fabulous day. Bye, guys.